So good morning everybody. Today we are talking about the canal design and automation part. The design of the canal is very important aspects being a civil engineer, and advancement in the canal structures you have to be observed in the part of its automation. So the canal structures, its design and the automation. So you want to design the canal first according to the different inventor, just like the Lessees and the Kennedys theory. Also, the design of the canal for the alluvial soil and the non-alluvial soil is also very important. How it is to be designed, and what are the design parameters you are going to be considered. So the lining on the left hand side you have to see this is the unlined canal. On the right hand side you have to see this is the lined canal, and the roadway is also provided for this lined canal. But in case of this underlined canal, you have to observe the maximum losses inside this canal due to evaporation or due to the seepage. But at least you need to improve uh, the efficiency of this canal as a part of this capacity. So by reducing the losses, those losses may be the infiltration loss or the percolation loss and the evaporation loss. Now, as per this automation technique, you need to be measure the discharge directly by providing the wells aside to this canal section, or even though you measure the discharge. So directly we need to get the discharge value of this canal. Even though for every fetch you will be getting the information about the how much the discharge is running through this canal. That way we have to explain. Now already told you that is the part distribution system for the canal. Let us see this sketch. Even though you draw the sketch. So this is now the main river. Water is flowing in this direction. Silt excluder is also provided to prevent the deposition of the silt. Barrages where it allows the flow of the water through these barrages. But because of the provision of the barrage, so the head of the water is to be raised up. And the effect of this rising head, it can be utilized with the help of this canal, that is the uptaking canal, and we are providing this, and directly the water from the river is directly taken it towards the canal because of by raising the head. So for raising the head inside the river, there is the provision of the barrage and the weir. So through the head regulator, water is directly provided and it can flow into this canal. This is the main canal. And in some of the cases, what will happen? If the excess discharge will be there, then automatically those discharges also escaped out through these channels towards the river Nile. So the branch canal, then later on the water is flowing towards the branch canal. So already it has its design value, that is the discharge is greater than 30 meter cube per second, and again it is distributed towards this distributary, that is if the discharge is less than 30 meter cube per second. And for the minor canals you see here, this is a minor canal, so the discharge is less than the 2.5 meter cube per second. So this is now the actual layout scheme you applied for the canal irrigation. So the main canal, then you have seen the location of the branch canal, distributaries, minor river, and water courses where this is the agricultural land. The water is directly supplied over there. Then for each and every point you need to find out the discharge and you need to design the discharge. Even though you have seen in this duty and the delta chapter, that is the requirement of the crops, that is the demand of the water according to the duty and the delta, you need to find out as per the types of the crop now. Now the canal design system is divided into the two categories. So canal design, that is the first part is the drainage channel design, and second one is the irrigation canal design. So drainage channel, second one is the irrigation canal Then what are those design parameters are considered for designing this canal? So the design considerations naturally it depends upon the types of the soil as well as it depends upon the types of the catchment area as well as the characteristics of the catchment area. So the velocity of the flow in the canal should be critical. The term you have to be observed, the critical velocity of the flow should be the critical. Critical is nothing but that is the flow of the water is to be takes place at the critical depth. You know the critical depth YC, and the entire flow is called as this critical flow, and the corresponding velocity you have to be called as the critical velocity. So the YC, you know this equation, q square by g raised to 1/3. This equation you have to utilize to find out the critical depth. So need to observe the critical, so the corresponding flow at the critical depth is a critical flow, and the particular velocity of the flow you have to be called as the critical velocity. So it should be the VC. So design of the canal, which is also known as this, there are the two theories, Kennedy's theory and the Lacey's theory. So are based on the characteristics of the sediment load or the based on the characteristics of the silt in the canal water. So the two theories are very much important in the design of the canal. Then please see the what are those important terms related to the canal design. So the first one is the alluvial soil, second non-alluvial soil, silt factor which denotes the symbol F, small f, then coefficient of the rugosity, that is N, mean velocity, critical velocity, and the critical velocity ratio, this parameter is very important, CVR. It denotes the symbol small m. Then what about the design channel? Hydraulic mean depth. What do you mean by this hydraulic mean depth? Hydraulic radius is different from this hydraulic mean depth, full supply discharge, and the economical section. So all these parameters are very much important while designing this canal. So let us see the alluvial soil. What do you mean by the alluvial soil? Everybody is knowing, you studied in geotechnical engineering. It is a soil which is formed by the continuous deposition of the silt. So the continuous deposition of the silt and the resulting soil is obtained. So we call as this alluvial soil. And please remember, this alluvial soil is nothing but it is generated, it is formed by the continuous deposition of the silt. So the river carries the heavy charge of the silt, particularly in the rainy seasons, in the monsoons. When the river overflows its banks during the flood, then silt particles are get it deposited on this adjoining area. So those deposition of the silt continuously occurs year by year. So this type of the soil is found in particularly the deltaic region of the river, in Marathi called the Tribhuj Pradesh. This soil is permeable, that is the characteristics of this alluvial soil. This soil is permeable, soft, and very fertile soil. So the alluvial soil is permeable, soft soil, and the very fertile soil. So the river passing through this type of the soil has a tendency to change its course, means there will be the chances to cause the river meandering problem, particularly for the alluvial soil. See the photographs of this alluvial soil. This is the photograph of this alluvial soil. See, this is the photograph of the alluvial soil. So continuous deposition of the silt, resulting soil is obtained. We call as this alluvial soil. Now let us see which soil we call the non-alluvial soil. This is the soil. This is the soil. Non-alluvial soil means this is the soil which is generated or formed only by the disintegration of the rocks. So disintegration of the rocks, the resulting soil which is obtained we call as the non-alluvial soils. So particularly it is found in the earlier stage of the river, in the hill area, in the mountainous region of the river, where is the large amount of the disintegration of the rock is takes place. The soil is hard nature of this soil, non-allowable soil, is hard, impermeable in nature, but this soil is not fertile soil. River passing through this type of the soil has no tendency to change its course. So the river maintaining problem could not be occurred in this soil, that is in non-allowable soil. See the photograph of this non-allowable soil. This is a mountainous area where you observe the non-allowable soil. Now let us see the next parameter, important terms, silt factor. Silt factor, particularly this factor you applied for the allowable soils. So during this investigation of this works, if the canal is aligned in the allowable soils, so the Gerald Lacey's theory, it was developed first before to the Kennedy's theory. He has established the effect of the silt on the determination of the discharge and observed the entire effect of the silt on discharge parameter as well as on this CVR ratio. So the critical velocity ratio as well as on the canal section. So henceforth, Lacey has focused a silt parameter, that is the silt factor. The entire factor we call as the silt factor. So this silt factor is mainly depends upon the particle size of the silt, and it denotes by the symbol small f. So the silt factor, according to the Lacey's theory, is determined by using this equation, where is the f is equal to 1.76 into square root of dmm. That means the particle size of the silt, it is now in millimeter. So please remember, silt factor as per the Lacey's theories can be defined by this equation, f is equal to 1.76 root of the d, if the particle size of the silt is known to you, but it is now in millimeter. See the silt factor for the various types of the silt. It's very fine silt, medium silt, and the coarse silt. Particle size is given 0.05, 0.12, 0.23, 0.32. Silt factor 0.40, 0.460, 0.85, 1.0. So please remember, according to the silt, types of the silt, if it is a coarse silt, then you consider the silt factor as a 1.0, and the corresponding size of the silt is 0.32. Then coefficient of the rugosity is very important parameter, that is the part related to the roughness. Coefficient of rugosity, n parameter. So the roughness of the canal bed, which affects the velocity of the flow. As you have seen in fluid mechanics, the flow is occurred in rough surface and the smooth surface. So this roughness is caused due to the ripples form, or there is a formation of the the ponds, or the potholes are to be generated at the bed of this canal because of the formation of the eddies and the vortices. So this roughness parameter is caused due to the ripples formed on the bed of the canal. So therefore, this coefficient, those coefficient was introduced by the R.G. Kennedy. So the coefficient, this rugosity coefficient is introduced by the R.G. Kennedy. So what is the purpose of this? For calculation of the mean velocity of the flow. It's a open channel flow, therefore always you are assumed that this is a turbulent flow, henceforth need to find out the mean velocity of the flow. So the coefficient is known as this rugosity coefficient. It denotes the symbol n, but the n parameter is depends upon the types of the bed material of the canal. So and then its values, n values for earth, which is now 0.0225. For masonry it is 0.02, and for concrete it is ranging from 0.013 to the 0.018. Then coming to the next part, mean velocity. What do you mean by the mean velocity? See, this is the section of the canal, and where the water is flowing inside this canal, and the depth of the water which is available inside the canal as mentioned here, that is a D, and the mean depth where we have to observe the 0.6 times of the D. So the mean velocity can be observed at depth, and the entire depth is nothing but that is a 0.6 times of the D. This 0.6 times of the D is measured from its bottom. So please remember, so this average depth or this depth of water could not be measured from the top, but this velocity, corresponding mean velocity, is observed at a depth of 0.6 times of the D. So D represents the depth of the available water. Please remember. Now, what do you mean by the mean velocity according to the Chase's formula, according to the Manning's formula? As you know this, velocity of the flow is equal to C root of the RS. Then velocity of the flow as per the Manning's equation by consideration of the roughness parameter, that means the V is equal to 1 by N R raised to 2/3 S raised to 1/2. Then what about the critical velocity? So please remember critical velocity. So we have to observe at a critical depth. Of course, it is right. But now, what are the observations made by this Kennedy? When the velocity of the flow is such that if there is no silting and no scoring actions, the problem could not be there. What type of the problem inside the canal? That means the silting and the scoring is the major problem observed in the canal, and according to the Kennedy's theory, he has introduced this critical velocity, and the velocity where this effect, the no silting and no scoring action should be displayed. So the such velocity is called as the critical velocity. It denotes by the symbol V0, and the value of this V0 critical velocity is defined by the Kennedy's. Please remember this formula. V0 is equal to 0.546 into the D raised to 0.64, where the D is the depth of the water. Then CVR is very important parameter M. According to that, you have to identify the canal. You have to identify the features of the canal. So the CVR is nothing but critical velocity ratio. So how to find out this critical velocity ratio? It is the ratio of mean velocity. It is the ratio of mean velocity to the critical velocity. As you know, the critical velocity, how it is to be find out according to the Kennedy's theory, and this ratio V by V0, that is mean velocity to the critical velocity, is called as the critical velocity ratio. Then it denotes the symbol M. Then what type of the productions? So if M is equal to 1, then there will be no silting or the scoring actions. If M is equal to 1, and if M is greater than 1, CVR ratio is greater than 1, then scoring will be occur, and if M is less than 1, then silting will be occur. So according to the value of the M, you have to identify the features with the canal. Either scoring is takes place, or either silting is takes place, or whether your channel is the ideal channel, there is no silting and no scoring. So according to this value of the M, you have to decide. So the condition of the canal can be predicted whether it will have the silting or the scoring action. The next parameter, regime channel. Regime channel. Regime channel. When the character of the bed and the bank materials of the channel, that means the characteristics with the bed and the bank material of the channel are remain same as that of this transported material, and when the silt charge and silt constant, these are the parameters we are going to be considered according to the silt charge and silt grade are the constant, then the channel is said to be the regime channel. So which channel you called as a regime channel? If the characteristics with the bed and the bank material are remain the same, as well as the silt charge and the silt grade, those silt are carried with the canal, which are remains the constant, then such channel you have to be called as a regime channel. So this ideal condition practically it is not possible. Now what about the hydraulic mean depth or the hydraulic ratio? That means the ratio of this cross sectional area of the flow, that means which is wetted perimeter to the wetted perimeter. So the cross sectional area by the wetted perimeter, as we know this, it denotes the symbol R. R is equal to A by P, but cross sectional area according to the depth of the water which is available inside the canal, you have to be find out. Then full supply discharge. If the water is flowing inside this canal, it is at the full supply level. When it is called the full supply level, that means the maximum capacity of the canal for which it is designed, it is known as the full supply discharge. Then water level of the canal corresponding to the full supply discharge is known as the full supply level. So the level of the water to the full supply discharge is called the full supply level. Now the economical section, which section you have to be called as the economical section. So if a canal section is such that, already I told you, that is earth obtained from this cutting section, that is now from the excavation, can be fully utilized in the forming the banks now. So the such section you have to be called as the economical section, and the discharge will be the maximum with the minimum cross sectional areas. You have seen in this economical section of the channel in fluid mechanics, most efficient channel section. So here is no extra earth is required from the borrow feet, and no earth is in excess to form the spoil bank. So this condition can only arise in case of the partial cutting and the partial banking or partial filling. Sometimes this condition is designated by balancing this cutting and the banking, hence the depth of the cutting is called the balancing depth. So see here the section, this is the balancing depth where the area and the cutting area are remain the same. Then let us see the unlined canal design. So we'll begin with the unlined canal design on non-alluvial soils. So please give the title unlined canal design on non-alluvial soils. So already you know the on non-alluvial soil is obtained due to the disintegration of the rocks which is available at the earlier stage in the mountainous region, and the entire soil is impervious and fertile now. So for the design of this canal in this type of the soil, so the coefficient of the roughness or the rugosity plays an important role, but the other factors like silt factor, there is no role in this. So please remember, in case of unlined canal design on non-alluvial soil, so the silt factor is not very much important. Hence, therefore, this velocity of the flow is considered and which is nearly close to the critical velocity. Hence, the mean velocity given by this Chase's formula or the Manning formula is going to be considered for the design of the canal in this soil. So the following formulas may be practiced. Please note down the formulas. Unlined canal design on non-alluvial soil. Please note down. So the first one, mean velocity by Chase's formula, V is equal to C root S RS. Benji's formula, only the C parameter is changed. That means the C parameter is changed, and C parameter of the Chase's constant is introduced by the benzene, which is now equal to C is equal to 87 by 1 plus K by root R. K is the benzene's constant, R is the hydraulic mean depth. Then similarly, Cutter's formula. What about the Cutter's formula? Chase's constant is defined by the Cutter, and the C parameter is equal to 1 by N plus 23. All of you note down this formula, plus 0.00155 divided by the S divided by 1 plus, make the square bracket, that is 23 plus 0.00155 divided by S into the small n by the root R. N is the roughness coefficient, S is the bed slope, R is the hydraulic mean depth level. So you remember these formulas, and according to that you have to design the unlined canal. Now, second parameter you consider, that is the mean velocity. As per the formula, you know this. And discharge is nothing but area into velocity. You can be find out. Now, the value of the k is not given, then it may be assumed that is for unlined canal, k parameter is equal to 1.30 to the 1.75, and for lined canal this k parameter is given 0.45 to the 0.85, and if the value of n is not given, then for unlined canal you take n is equal to 0.0225, and for line canal you take the 0.333. So all these are the design aspects for the unlined canal. You remember all these values. Then let us see one problem. So according to this problem, you can understand this design of the unlined canal. It's very simple. So if the input data is given, discharge is given, that is 24 cubic is nothing but 24 meter cube per second. Mean velocity is permitted 0.8. Bed slope, that is 1 in 5000, that is S value is given. Side slope is given. Changes constant is given. So we know that is the area. Area is nothing but discharge by this velocity. 24 by this velocity is 0.80. That means the area is 30 meter per square. And for this, this is the channel we are observing that, and 30 is the area is equal to b plus d into the d. Please let us note down. And the perimeter you have to observe b plus 2.828 times of the d. These are the standard formula as per the same, and you need to consider this dimension. So you remember for the most efficient section, for this rectangular section as well as the trapezoidal section, but in most of the cases always prefer the trapezoidal section. So for Chase's formula, v is equal to c root of the RS, then substitute all these values, r value is going to be find out. So putting the value of the r and solving the d parameter, and we'll getting the d parameter here and b parameter. So the depth of water is 2.09, and the width of this channel is the 12.27 meter. Second problem, let us see, note down this problem. Find the bed width and the bed slope of a canal having this following data. 40 cubic is the discharge. Mean velocity is given 0.95. N value is 0.0225. Side slope is given. B by D ratio is also given. So how to solve it? Area you know, B plus D into the D. Weighted perimeter B plus 2 square root 2D. Then area Q is equal to 40. Area can be find out. Velocity is 0.95. B by D ratio is 6.5. So B is equal to 6.5 times of the D. Substitute these values in this equation, in this area equation. So 42.11, B is the 6.5, D plus D into the D, and find out the D. Also find out the B, and weighted perimeter you will be getting by using this equation, that is now 22.10 meter. And hydraulic mean depth A by P. A you take this value divided by perimeter, which is now 1.90. Then use the Manning's formula. V is equal to 1 by N, R is to 2/3, S is to 1/2. Substitute all this value, and from this value you will be getting the value of the bed slope of this channel, that is S. So you may be find out in terms of 1s to n, that means the 1 by 5, 1s to 5, 1, 5, 5 is the bed slope of the channel. Now you have seen the design of the unlined canal on non-alluvial soil, but you see the unlined canal design on alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is nothing but this soil is formulated because of the deposition of the silts. So after the long investigations, Kennedy arrived at a theory, and which says that is the silt parameter is very much important, particularly for this alluvial soil, and those silt parameters are introduced by this Kennedy. And we are thinking for the unlined canal, not for the lined canal. Inner channel is kept in suspension, so silt characters are remains the kept in suspension, and by this vertical component of this eddy current, which is formed over the entire bed width of the channel. So those suspended silt rises up gently toward the surface. So the assumptions are made under these theories, Kennedy's theories for unlined canal on alluvial soil. The ED's first assumption is there. He assumed that is Kennedy. ED's current is developed due to the roughness of the bed as per his investigation. The quality of the suspended silt is proportional to the bed width is the second assumption. And third assumption is there, it is applicable to those channels which are flowing through the bed consisting of the sandy silt or the same grade of the silt. The next assumption, it is applicable to those channels which are flowing through the bed consisting of the sand silt only or the same grade of the silt now. Now, unlined canal design on alluvial soil, particularly we are thinking for alluvial soil. Please remember, this theory is made by this, investigated by the Kennedy. So he has to establish the idea about the critical velocity, which denotes the symbol V0, which will make a channel free from the silting as well as the scoring. So from these long observations, he has to establish the relation between this critical velocity and the full supply depth. So let us note down this equation and invented this equation for the velocity, critical velocity, V0 is equal to C into D raised to N. Then value of the C and N were found as the 0.546 C value and N value is 0.64. Therefore, you remember this equation, V0 is equal to 0.546 into D raised to 0.64. And after consideration of these critical velocity ratios, if the critical velocity is affected by this grade of the silt, therefore the critical velocity ratio is going to be considered and multiplied this equation. Therefore, it is introduced in this equation. So therefore, critical velocity is called this critical velocity is equal to this 0.546 into the M parameter. It is now the CVR into the D raised to 0.64. This equation is also utilized for in case of the unlined canal part on the alluvial soil. So what are the drawbacks for this Kennedy's theories? The theory is limited to average regime channel only. Design of the channel is based on this trial and the error method. Value of this M was fixed arbitrarily. Silt charge and silt grade could not be considered according to the Kennedy's theory. But there is no equation for determining the bed slope. It is mostly depends upon this Cutter's formula, where this Chezy's constant is defined by the Cutter, and the ratio of the B to D has no significance in this theory. So according to this design of this unlined canal on this alluvial soil, let us see the one example. Note down all the equations. That is critical velocity defined by this parameter V0 is equal to 0.546 m into D raised to 0.64. Mean velocity as per this Chezy's formula, V is equal to C root of the RS. Value of the C is calculated by the Cutter's formula. So the Cutter's formula, Kennedy has given the more importance for this Cutter's formula. C is equal to 1 by N plus make the bracket 23 plus 0.00155 divided by S. This is now in numerator. In denominator, you write this 1 plus 23 plus 0.00155 by S into N by root of the R. N is the robustity coefficient. B by D ratio is assumed in between 3.5 to 12. Discharge, as you know, area into the velocity. So the full supply depth is fixed by trial and error method, and which will satisfy the value of CVR, that is critical velocity ratio M, and generally this trial depth is assumed in between 1 meter to 2 meter. If the condition is not satisfied, If the condition is not satisfied within this limit, then it may be assumed accordingly. So please all of you remember these formulas for the design of unlined canal on alluvial soil. See one example so that you can understand this. So design an irrigation channel with this following data. Full supply discharge is 6 cumex. You may be write down 6 meter cube per second. N parameter is given 0.0225. CVR is given M is equal to 1, means there is no silting, no scoring action. It's ideal channel. Bed slope is 1 in 5000, and assume the other reasonable data for the design. So we'll go for the first trial. Full supply depth D is equal to 1.5 meter. So as per the range you consider, so you know the assumption is there according to the Kennedy's theory. So first of all you assume the depth is 1.5 meter. So for this assumed depth you find out the critical velocity by this formula. You apply this formula, and which is now equal to 0.707. Now m value you have to assume as 1. Therefore you know this ratio, actual velocity to the critical velocity, which is now equal to the m. Henceforth the actual velocity is equal to the critical velocity, that means the v is equal to v0. Therefore area is nothing but the discharge by velocity, and which is now the 8.49 meter. Then area you can be find out 2b plus 3 by 2 into the 1.5 is the depth, and as per this depth you find out the b value, that is now 4. Please do the calculation and check the calculation. Also find out the perimeter, b plus 2 root 2 into the d, that means you find out the perimeter and find out the r value, which is now this a by p, and it is now 1.0 meter. Then by Cutter's formula, you know the if you apply this Cutter's formula and substituting all these values, C parameter is equal to 44.49. Chase's formula, velocity is 0.629. CVR value, if you want to find out, then this value should be less than 1. If this CVR value, that is M value, is less than 1, then what type of the production? There will be in silting. If M is greater than 1, then scoring should be there. If M is equal to 1, then no silting and no scaring. And if the M is less than 1, then there will be the silting is going to be occurred. So the production of the canal can be possible with the help of this design. If the design is not satisfied, then full supply depth is to be assumed by making the trial, so that to get the satisfactory result. So when the results are satisfactory, if the m value, which is now equal to the 1 value, then we'll go for the second trial. Let us see. In earlier case we are not receiving this m value is less than 1, therefore we'll go for the next depth. You have taken as the d is equal to 1.25 meter. Then do the calculation for the critical velocities, find out the areas. Area can be find out as per this formula. Perimeter can be find out with this second assumed depth, and r is equal to 0.96. Find out C parameter, velocity, and CVR is nearly equal to the 1, that means 0.97. It's less than 1, it is approaches to the 1, therefore CVR is very close to 1, henceforth design may be accepted, permitted. Therefore this is the optimum design, and you need to decide the dimensions of the canal, that is now d is equal to 1.25 meter and b is equal to 6.28 meter. So this is the way you have to do the calculations. You need to go for this, and according to that you have to design the canal by using the Kennedy's